In 1967, Israeli warplanes attacked the USS Liberty off the coast of Palestine. This vicious attack left 34 American sailors dead and wounded 171 more. The reason behind this attack was that Israel intended to sink the USS Liberty and blame it on Egypt, in order to drag America into a six-day war on the side of Israel. The attack, however, failed to sink the ship, and the case was quickly swept under the rug due to Israeli influence over US politicians. But this was not the only time Israel tried to stage a false flag attack against American citizens. In 1954, Israeli terrorists devised a plan to plant bombs inside American, British, and Egyptian civilian targets, including cinemas, libraries, and American educational centers. The resulting explosions and deaths were to be blamed on Egyptian terrorists, which would then lead to an American and British invasion of Egypt. Thankfully, the plan was a failure, and was later exposed to be an Israeli false flag operation. These attacks are now known as the Lavan Affair, named after the Israeli Defense Minister Pinhas Lavan. Another example of Israeli crimes against America is the Apollo Affair. In 1965, Israeli agent Zalman Shapiro stole up to 600 pounds of highly enriched uranium from America and sent it to Israel in order to be used in the Israeli nuclear weapons program. The Israeli nuclear weapons program had begun in 1948, but had stalled due to resistance and pressure by American President John F. Kennedy. Fortunately for Israel, after Kennedy was assassinated, his replacement Lyndon B. Johnson fully supported the Israeli nuclear weapons program, and in a few years they would have their first nuclear bomb. Perhaps the greatest crime of Israel against the United States was their involvement in the 9/11 attacks, in an incident commonly known as the Dancing Israelis. On the day of 9/11, multiple Mossad agents were found in New York dancing and celebrating the destruction of the Twin Towers. They also took multiple photographs with the Twin Towers in the background, in which they were clearly seen to be ecstatic about the attack. These agents were later arrested by the FBI and found to be working for Mossad from a fake company called Urban Moving. However, due to Israeli influence, they were later released and sent back to Israel. They would later admit on Israeli television that they were sent there to document the attacks. But perhaps the cruelest attempt of subversion Israel has committed against the United States is the pedophilia ring run by Israeli agent Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein's mission was to kidnap and traffic underage American girls, prostitute them to high-ranking American politicians, celebrities and businessmen, record these acts, and use them as blackmail in order to ensure their unwavering loyalty to Israel. Epstein's partner in this operation was a woman named Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine was the daughter of Robert Maxwell, one of the greatest double agents in Israeli history. To just give a glimpse on Robert Maxwell's involvement with Israel, his funeral was attended not only by the Israeli Prime Minister, but by 6 acting and former heads of Israeli military intelligence. Throughout the decades, many pro-Israeli politicians in the United States have claimed that Israel is America's greatest ally. However, the truth is that Israel sees America as nothing but a beast of burden, to be used and, if necessary, sacrificed in order to further Israel's goals.